So welcome everybody to the Patreon replay analysis. Today we're doing KingKnight 619, or just KingKnight is what he goes by. So he's been a longtime patron of the ASAP Weekly podcast. He recently just signed up for one of the Combatty tiers with your boy. So he's getting a replay analysis once a month. Just for folks who are interested, I believe it is currently filled completely, unfortunately, as of the release of this stream/video. However, in future, and just to explain what it is, there are 3 tiers. So we are doing a replay analysis tier. So that is for actually KingKnight is in chat right now, so he might be able to correct me, but I think it's $15 off the top of my head, or $10. I don't really remember, somewhere around there. And so we'll be doing. He gets a replay analysis. I said 1 or 2 in the description because if let's say I get a replay that I just fly through in like 15 minutes, then I will do. I will do a second one, but if I get one replay that is like a perfect 30-minute long analysis, which is like can happen but not always, then we'll just do that. So that is where we're headed right now. We're gonna hop on in with it, and luckily, like I said, he's in chat right now, so he'll be hanging out. And $15, thanks KingKnight. So we'll get to actually talk a little bit and talk about things as we go through, but otherwise, let's hop on into it. So we're gonna start off. I'll be using a pen. I'll be using a couple other things to actually talk through it, and then we will go from there. So let's start off. KingKnight with a nice saucy pink car and the white octane. Hello, looking super clean. It's good to clear from his teammate. So right now we're looking. He says he's currently in Diamond 1, but he's a Diamond 3 player. I believe is what he had said to me. So expect like pretty good gameplay here, which would be nice. And he's playing some 2s right now. Teammate taking it nice and slow. Really good positioning. He should be able to win to this ball too, most likely. It's a good challenge. And the wave dash into the nice little flip. That's great. That's really good that he's using this. A bit of an awkward flip afterwards, but not the end of the world. Good shadow D. Looking very solid on D right now. Avoids the bump successfully. A good 50. I want to go back. I want to see his straight cam usage here. This is something I've been talking to a lot of my patrons about recently, is right in these kind of plays when we know that KingKnight has just hit the ball in front. Actually, I'm using orange for these lads. So KingKnight has just hit the ball up into the wall, meaning it's going to be contacting the wall about here and coming out into this area, probably landing in this area of the field, maybe a little further out. Obviously, we're wanting to challenge the ball as soon as possible. In a perfect world, we're challenging it right on the wall, so actually right as it makes contact. After that, you'd want to be challenging somewhere midway through the jump, the fall of itself, and then lastly we'd be wanting to jump into the very ground and for that ground play. In this situation, those options are more dependent on whether or not he's being challenged. So what I've really been pushing a lot of the folks that I've been working with recently on is in these situations where you can see his car is perfectly faced forwards right now, in the direction of where he's going to be challenging the ball. So what we want to be seeing, and this is difficult for a lot of people and it takes a lot of muscle memory, so it's something short to work on, is actually switching to that straight cam. You want to be constantly, and I've already seen KingKnight do it several times here, which is great. It's such a small skill, but it's so useful for gathering information. We want to see a quick switch into the straight cam to see if he's being challenged. If he's not, then I would say catch it. Make your play right here. See if you can walk out with the ball and go from and move forward with that. If he is being challenged, we need to be aerialing instantly to this ball to meet this and wherever we can to win that challenge and work its way down the field. Specifically that fast because Trooper is already out of the play, but is going to be collecting that full boost, so he'll be chasing ball side back down the field, and you've just beat the other defender who was coming in on this side. So this is a great way to know what kind of play you need to be going to, because for all we know, if the defender, let's say, is right here where the square is and he chooses to turn around and not challenge it, then by you catching it, you now are giving yourself more of an opportunity to make the play. So in saying all that, if we watch over to Bryland, we see right away that he is coming in quite tight for this ball and wants to make that play, and KingKnight does it well by challenging early. He doesn't try to catch it. We can see it again. But if he was up just a little, like now, if he's jumping right now to this ball and meeting this, give or take, on its trajectory as it's kind of coming down this way, if he's meeting it here rather than here, he is, look how much closer he is to that ball. The distance between that gap and then the distance between Bryland and him is massive. He has such an advantage in this play, and so with a quick check and maybe a little bit of a rushed play, he can actually create a little more of a play here, take not one, but technically two defenders out of the play, because this defender has just went for the challenge, and this defender is going to be ball side trying to get back to his net, and you can set up a nice little 2-on-1. This is very much a twos mentality and works really well in twos, and just something I want to note. And so, like I said, KingKnight challenges as he should, but he's just a little slow to it, so he unfortunately loses the challenge. Now has to grab the boost and recycle back into play. Big miss there. Matty Ice, a little bit of miss. KingKnight, why are we not shooting here? I'm not going to harp on this because... So right now, as soon as you see that miss, there's a little bit of information gathering, right? So when you look at this, you can tell that your teammate, Matty Ice, has missed the ball. So he's completely out of the play. Both Bryland and Trooper have jumped for this ball, so they're completely out of the play. So all I see right now when I see this net is money right there. That is absolute money to be shooting for. So what I want to be seeing is you have 88 boosts in the tank. I want to be seeing a absolute full tilt to this ball right now to get right to it right away. And like I said, as we watch, we see the drive to it, a little bit of boost, but then the hesitation when that could have been a wide open net, and that breaks my heart. That's okay. So you keep possession well, which is nice, and a little bit of a panic, I will say. So in these kind of situations when you no longer have the angle you want, so I see you wanted the drift touch there, be careful of that first jump. When you see this first jump, right there, you're completely taking yourself out of the play. So you want to be careful of this as you're going in, because now your only action right now can be either to not hit the ball or to pinch it back to your own end, neither of which is super ideal. So you always be careful. The main thing I think was really good to say right now, and it's a couple times we've already looked at it, is every jump you take needs to be intentional, because when you jump, you are officially out of the play. You have set in path your destiny, the motion, like you are stuck in doing that single jump, and then all you can change now is do you flip left, right, forward, diagonal, whatever that may be, not jump, double jump. There are options, but not a lot of them. So that's something you really got to keep in mind when looking at things like this. And so when this jump happens and then the flip, unfortunately this ball ends up going back the other way. Now Matty Ice actually makes a fantastic save coming back in. So another good attempt, just something to keep in mind, like I was saying. And I do appreciate Mudpip. Let me know if the game is wrong. So let me just quickly change that. Took a month off, so you may have just been psyched out. Definitely, man. And so I'll always let you know, at least what I'm seeing. This is another thing I see often, and this is like as you get more and more comfortable with the ball. Right now, as this ball is coming in, you don't really have anyone challenging you, truthfully. Trooper's coming, yes, but is he in a dangerous position? No. You're perfectly, if we look at Trooper's perspective, you are perfectly covering goal side, and you have Matty Ice in net right now, so there's not much of a threat on the net. So I'd much rather you seeing, what I would much rather see from this is you actually stopping for a quick second, driving under this ball and catching it on the bottom. So you'd want to be lined up on the kind of circle right here. You'd want to be lined up like on this side of the circle, if you can see where I'm drawing in the pink, because now you're catching to push the ball this way towards the wall, which isn't as ideal, but at least what you're doing is you're blocking the goal side push. So you might actually pull Trooper out of the play if you rush this. If he rushes this. Whereas in this case, you end up actually rushing this, jumping once, and now he is a very easy tip back in the other way, and now you're awkward getting Matty Ice to come help you out, right? So, and you have to make a save and so on. So just little things of like, I'm seeing a lot of jumps right now that feel kind of panicky to me. So just keeping in mind that you don't need to jump at every ball. You don't need to always hit every ball as hard or like try to clear, like especially on defense, man. It's such a valuable skill to be patient and calm with the ball, because that is the best way with even zero boost as you are right now to be able to make the play and work your way out. So something just important to keep in mind. Great pass out from Matty Ice there. Even better 50. Really well done. I know the no boost is difficult, and another great 50. I want to see Matty Ice challenging this ASAP. A little patient, but luckily he ends up getting a great challenge. Good patience. You see Matty Ice is being bullied, so you want to wait. Well done. Beautiful play. Matty Ice looking a little uncomfortable there. I want to see him much quicker on that, but otherwise, no harm, no foul. Good job. Chase that down now. Beautiful. Well done. This is exactly what we're talking about. Of like, these jumps are so intentional, right? So it's right here. you could aerial to this, but you choose not to because there's no rush, right? Like that is, and whether that was on your mind or not, there's absolutely no panic here. If maybe if you feel a little more comfortable in the air with a good single jump and a flip, you could get a nice little aerial shot here. But if you're not there yet, don't rush it. There's no point. So by catching this ball instead and then beating him, because I saw you were going for the catch, but then you choose to flip afterwards, is perfect. You draw out Bryland, you then keep possession, and then you work its way into the corner. And same thing, I want to see you full speed as soon as you're supersonic off the boost, as you do right here, and on that ball instantly pass it out to the middle. Unfortunately, Matty Ice isn't there. So beautiful play. Really, really well done. Good first beat. This ball's been down. Oh, unfortunate. So yeah, this coach combo out here, I like it. What up, Nix? So the main thing I think I'm seeing right here is Matty Ice, like I said this before, he really's got to be up to this ball, or at least you guys got to communicate who is. And so for you, this comes a lot with solo queuing, is something that I talk to a lot of players about. It's about understanding the predictability of your teammates. So right here, like I said, I would expect Matty Ice to be able to be instantly flying up the wall, meeting this ball where it is, and then clearing this out. He doesn't. He chooses to stay on the ground. So he's actually covering, I would say comfortably, he is covering like this corner of the net right here. So you know that is covered if he waits, and he doesn't end up. So like disregard this a little bit, but he covers that area of the net. What I would much rather see you focusing on then is a quick turn into an aerial, even just to rush the opponent, right? As long as, whether you hit the ball or not, if you hit the ball, great. You've cleared it, you've done your job, you've covered your defender, and you've done well. But even if you don't, you're forcing the attacker to rush their attack. Because if we actually look right now at what the enemy is saying, I think it was Trooper who has the shot. No, it's Bryland. Yeah, so Bryland has the shot. And so you see, absolutely zero pressure, is able just to tip this ball on and sauce that into the right corner, right? Nice and easy. He's got the Grand Champ he's got the Grand Champ, what's it called? Goal explosion there. So interesting note, but yeah. So how can you get the replay analysis? So I talked about it at the beginning of the stream / video. Yeah, it's one of the Patreon tiers. I believe it's currently full, but next, like you and I could easily set one up, man. I know you well enough, so we could set something up if you actually would like one, and we could go from there. But otherwise, that would be the main thing, KingKnight. So I don't blame you for that goal. I think that's Matty Ice's ball to clear, but there are ways that, like I said, for solo queuing, that you can almost make up for people's mistakes by predicting what they're doing or not doing. So I do want to see you jumping a little quicker at that ball. On the kickoffs, I think I noticed this before as well from you. This just to me feels a little no man's landy, if you know what I mean. So if we zoom out a bit here and take a little peek at what we're doing right here, I absolutely love. You have to go see you next. Appreciate it. This is something, buddy, like Grand Champs don't do, so I appreciate you here. You actually follow on both pads to make sure you're getting the boost, which is beautiful, and like that like is music to my ears. Like it makes my heart warm. I love it. Like really, really well done. I worry about these kind of cheats because now when we see the ball is going this way out towards this corner, this entire corner of the field is basically left untouched now by your team. There is nothing really supporting here, and you have to waste the boost that you just got to come back in. So the main thing I tend to say is you need to do one of two. You need to commit. You can't be in no man's land, because I consider like this area no man's land right here. You either need to be cheating down the middle, but not close enough that you are gonna miss the ball, but close enough that you can choose whichever direction you need to go, if it's forward, left, right, center, whatever that may be, or you need to be collecting boost and then make the play. So in this case, you go left. So in my head, what I would much rather see you do is turning left to the full boost, getting yourself topped up, and then you already know that there's not going to be much of a shot opportunity from this ball. So all it's going to take, if you do need to rush, is full boosting all the way through these pads, back to the other side. You don't need the next one, but these will keep you full 12 per boost as you're going, and then you'll be able to loop back through, leaving a boost for your teammate and making the play, whether you're looping all the way through or maybe you're stopping here to make the save, whatever that may look like. To me, and this is something I'm less inclined to challenge you on, because kickoffs are very independent, and if this is what you want to do, it's what you want to do. But I often just consider these to be no man's land, specifically because by doing at least this left boost grab here, you can actually come up the wall, you can go down the line. Like there's still a lot of offensive ideology here that can happen, but you're not completely left out to dry. Something to think about, not something you absolutely need to change, but kickoffs are always a very interesting point to talk with players because everybody has such a different philosophy. So it doesn't look like you end up getting burned or anything like here, and so you manage to still come across. So and yeah, so you still basically do exactly what I'm saying, but you see how now you're actually stuck now with zero boost and have to collect this one in the corner. So just something to keep in mind of like where that boost management actually goes. But Unfortunately, cutting off your teammate a little bit there, but not a huge deal. Like I said, you usually switch back and forth between those two based on my teammate. Makes sense. Completely makes sense. So, great challenge. Another great win, and now you want to be cycling back right now. So this is one of these things with twos, is that there's the rule I always see with twos is that there always needs to be pressure on the ball, right? Like there always needs to be someone going on and pressuring this ball in twos. There should never be a dry second where someone isn't pressuring. So I appreciate that your first thought is I need to turn now and challenge this myself, but unfortunately that completely takes you out of the play and actually somehow ends up going in your net. So this is why now I want to watch Matty Ice, because I think that this is Matty Ice's ball. So if we watch here, let's see where he is. So he goes for his challenge, and he turns. You win the first 50. He sees he doesn't have boost, so he goes all the way back for the next one. And so now right here, he needs to be ready for the shot. But he ends up getting bumped. Unfortunately, he probably would have been there. But as soon as you win that challenge, he already is too far back, so he just needs to set a net. Like there's nothing more than that. I'm just giving you this feedback because is this someone you play with a lot, or is this solo queuing? I was just curious. But this is still good advice for literally anybody in twos. So someone needs to be challenging this, and unfortunately, it's going to be you, KingKnight, in this situation because he isn't close enough to do anything. Solo queue, perfect, good to know. So I would expect Matty Ice to be closer here. The one thing I didn't see from you is a check, so you want to look to see if he's challenging there, so you guys don't double commit and make sure someone's in net. But at this point, I'd expect him to stay in net while you're going, and then the main thing I would say for you is not throwing yourself at this ball, because right here by this point already, you already know you're not winning to this ball. So as soon as you take this first jump, I want to see you hard drifting to the left to then start making your way back to net. Would it change anything here? Definitely not, because Matty Ice unfortunately wasn't in net and ready for it, and I see you kind of pull off the gas there towards the end. But it is something important to keep in mind in twos, is that you need to be back as soon as possible for your teammate, in any case necessary, and go from there. But that one, again, less on you, but would it be better not to flip there? You got it, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Do not flip, don't throw yourself at it, because it takes you so much more out of the play when that happens. Great bump. Great setup for a goal. Beautiful twos. I want to see how you didn't end up getting boost here. So he rinses the first one, then Matty Ice takes the next, I assume. Yeah, okay, cool. Unfortunately, and then the main thing, this is super small, but I'm going to be nitpicky because I'm seeing you have like quite a good field knowledge. I'm going to be very nitpicky on this kind of stuff now. I need you to be getting pads here, right? Because if we watch this, you actually finesse yourself right through pads. And if Brylan had a better opportunity here, you'd probably be screwed in net, right? For something to happen. So you need to have a bit better leaning when you're coming back from the kickoff. Specifically, if we watch from this angle, I can show you. So as soon as you see right here, so you flip, that's completely fair, like, because I probably would have flipped for that as well, like trying to get that boost. When you cut back in, so you flip again. What I would actually recommend, because your goal right now is back post, right? It's nothing else, like you just need to get to that back post. When you flip across this boost and then you lose it, there's actually a perfect line to the back post that you can take in two separate ways. You can either get 36 boost coming in here and then drifting and then you're into the back post. That's a little more direct, so if you're in a rush, which you were in this case, so this is the one I'd recommend. Or when you're coming, you can actually do a little loop. So let's say Matty Ice wins this challenge and he gives you time. You can actually do the loop around like this, and that will get you over 60 boost just by doing this instantly. And so these are the kind of lanes you got to keep in mind. It's something what I've actually been drawing up for some of the other patrons as well, is the lanes of the defensive end for when you're looking for the pads. So if I pull out the pen again, I can show you. I'll draw it in yellow. There are 5 lanes on the field, right? I don't know if you've ever been explained the boost pad lanes, but I'll explain it anyways because it is valuable for anybody watching. So obviously you have your full pads around, which will get you full. However, there are 5 lanes of boost on this map, and actually this field in general and a lot of them are actually drawn in a way that you can see them all. So we have there. We have there and there. And then we have there. This covers every single pad except these 2, which I kind of call my emergency pads if someone took the lane that I was already going in. So that's your 5 lanes on the field. And this is how you should always be looking to rotate, because what you can do is a thing that I call lane hopping that I've been talking about a lot with some patrons recently, if you have enough time. So in this case, you'd be lane hopping through 4 lanes if you miss this kickoff. So we'll draw up pink as you again. So you come for the kickoff, you go to the left, and this guy steals your boost. First thing you need to think, I'm going back post. Okay, how are we going to get there the speediest as possible? The speediest as possible would be a beeline to the net, and you'll see with just slight variations to this pad, to this pad, and to this pad, and then this pad, you will end up getting 4 pads down the line, which is pretty nice. By this point, you had already flipped, so you're going to be over here now, so you'd need to kind of hard cut to do that, which is a little awkward, so I wouldn't ideally recommend flipping following that first one. You need to be quick to think of how am I going to get there. And then, like I said, if you have more time and do what I was calling lane hopping, you come for your kickoff, go across, and then you come to this boost, to this boost, to this boost, to this boost, to this one, to this one, and then back in net. And then let's say you're breaking out, you then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 boosts, which is a full canister. So you get a full canister in a bit of a slower rotation back to net than maybe you would normally take, but it's all about knowing. So same thing, if I get rid of the chaos I just drew and just keep the lanes, we draw that, and then we watch, and we play, you'll see that he doesn't win that challenge, so your rotation in net is perfect. So that's why I would have recommended taking that lane where Matty Ice is currently sitting right now. That's the lane I would have recommended taking since you had to rush back. So you do it, but you just come back without boost. And so now you'll have to make a big save. But Matty Ice luckily gets a great challenge. You're able to clear that back down the other way. So just a little small thing in the defensive lanes that can actually really, really help you. And you'll find yourself feeling faster because you actually have more boost to work with than you would have expected previously, which is pretty cool. So that is where we will go from there. And we'll continue on. But otherwise, that you guys played that really well, which is nice. Really good for actually a solo queuing team in general. A little rushed on the flip, but it was good luck. I'm happy you went for that. Putting on the pressure. Good job waiting for the cutoff. That was perfect. So I will say I do like playing a little further out just because this guy, if let's say right now, so I guess for me right now the main thing would be you're leaving zone here. My question would be why? Because when you come all the way back here, you end up just drifting back in net, and we didn't get boost. We didn't gain field advantage. We actually gave up field advantage. So if you think about your lane here, like what was the point, right? What was the intention of this? And so if it's just to play safe, that's actually, I would say, more risky because you're allowing them to potentially have a 2-on-1 now coming back the other way. So you really need to balance that with what it ends up looking like of a, is this going to be a valuable move back? Is it not? And then even as far it comes back into the lanes, right? You get 20 outside of their 18 box, and you come all the way back to your 18 without getting a single other pad, right? It hurts to watch afterwards, like as yourself. Like I hate when I see myself do it because I preach this all the time, and I don't even do it all the time. But this is something that is so important to get into your subconscious play, that you're always following those 5 lanes when you're coming back if you're not getting a full pad. So at least you have a little more boost to work with, because right now if Matty Ice wasn't quick to get that mid boost with a really good recovery and cut off this guy to make him force a flick, then you probably would have been in a pretty rough spot here. And actually, luckily for you, it's going to turn out the other way, and it's something you guys actually might pull out a goal from this. So good pass in the middle and a great shot from Matty Ice. So again, lucky that we got out of that, but we could have not given up pressure if either one, you stayed closer, or if you got more pads along the way, so you didn't have to give up anymore, if that makes sense. So that would be something I think I'm seeing right now, is just the little boost management things that can make you 10 times faster on the field. Careful on rushing your aerials. Just a couple times I've seen your rushed aerials now. I know you said you're coming off a break, so I'll keep that in mind for sure. But it does feel a little bit like you're rushing some aerials. Or like here. So right now he's hit this ball, so why turn away, right? And so again, watching this, you're like, I guarantee KingKnight watching this is probably like, oh, like why didn't I go? But so Brylan just challenges this ball. So I'll pause where we can see he does. So Brylan jumps here, so we already know that he's going to be taking a hit here, and he's going to be actually shooting this ball. So what I would say is you're going to break right now because you're in a pretty good position, so almost wait and see, and then all it's going to end up being is one of two things. You're either going to be able to challenge this ball quickly with whatever he hits, because he hits here and it rolls out, but maybe let's say it hits here and it pops up and does that instead and goes towards your end. The only difference is all you got to do is either do a quick turn or a half flip back the other way as you're going, and you're still relevant to the play. Like you can tell from his angle already he's not going to be getting a hard hit here. Like it's not going to be a good shot, and this is something you really got to be looking to. It's something they teach in hockey, for instance, as goalies. Is I'm a goalie and I'll read where the puck is on a player's stick when they're about to take a shot, because then I can gauge the power, I can gauge the angle, I can gauge things like that. And so that's where I'm staring. When I'm staring more at the stick than the puck as a goalie, and I do the same thing in Rocket League. When a hit is coming, I'm staring at the person who's going to get the hit, waiting to see what they're going to do. And so at this point, we know that he's not going to have a hard one. So if we wait right now, we can actually make a little better of a play, whereas instead when we start creeping in, as we see here, you don't feel as confident to go to this anymore. You lose all that confidence that would be to turn to this, and you actually have to do a full 360 with a drift to then turn and then play the 50. Unfortunately, he ends up winning that 50 clean, and then you have to rush back without much boost. So really good recovery to get back there in time, but just ways to not have to do it in the first place, right? Same thing, we're rushing right now. So when you're boostless, the last thing you want to do is jump, right? Because when you jump, when you're boostless, again, you've set your destiny. You've set what you're doing. You are stuck in whatever that was and how it was going to end up happening. And so you can only flip or not. That's it. That's all you end up getting when you jump. So right now, Bryland has chosen not to challenge you. So what's stopping you from dribbling here and taking a low 50, right? Rather than rushing this. So if we watch this again, slowly coming in behind this, getting some pads and taking your time, now instead turns into a 2-on-1 going, or 1-on-1 going the other way. And unfortunately, Matty Ice is unable to save it. So just ways to keep that ball tighter and not rush that is huge for you right now. And I'm seeing that a lot. And again, it may not feel like it's wrong inherently when it's happening, but it's ways that you can keep much tighter possession and feel way faster and more dominant and pressure focused on the field. Got to go for calm, have fun. Thanks, Turtle. Appreciate you hanging out. Have a good calm. Great challenge. Is that on net too? Oh, great shot. That was a beautiful, beautiful challenge. That's the speed I want. Heavy down the side. Great job. Great 50. So you see Matty Ice is going now. Beautiful. And pull up. That's literally listening to me in a replay. This is perfect. No challenge. Good job. You guys are downs for sure. And so, again, we're seeing the rush, right? Like, you keep rushing a lot of these plays, and unfortunately it turns back into a goal. Take your time. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Slow her down right here. So you see that he gets it. You want to be able to catch this ball, and I could see you wanted to, and that's why it was kind of the panic, like flip backwards to try and get it. But you want to be able to catch that ball, take your time with it, slow it down. If I can give any advice for ways to slow yourself down, that you're not panic jumping or things like that, just always be telling yourself, or even spend one day where you just tell yourself in most of your games, just don't jump with the ball. Take low 50s, don't flick, don't aerial all that much, play, like focus on the ground game so you can kind of teach yourself not to jump. Because we even see it here. Bryland expects Trooper to get this ball, he doesn't, and then Bryland rushes his jump and misses, and then unfortunately doesn't get punished for it, and it's hard to expect him to. Great chase there as well, that was really well done. And a good attempt on the recovery, but that's what I mean, is these rushed jumps is actually what burns teams more than anything. At literally all ranks. I'm a very, very patient player, so I love when players are rushing jumps or rushing hits, because it's very easy for me just to relax, wait for them to literally pass it to me, and then go from there, and it just ends up being a rather easy play. So great replay. I hope you got a little bit from that, and we'll hop into another one because we still got some time, and I'll take this one a little slower and a little quicker and not as nitpicky, but that was really good, and I hope you got a couple things from there, just ways to stay fast, stay speedy, keep going from there. So we'll hop into your next one. And just for those who don't know, the replay function is pretty broken in Rocket League right now, where I can't actually pick, I'll show you, so let's say I pick KingKnight, I can't actually pick a player cam for some reason, it just stays an auto cam until now, and so it waits until like a random moment to give me player views. That's why it was kind of awkward there. Good touch. Let's talk about this. So you take the boost, and you just stop. Just kind of pull off the gas. just no rush. We're not worried. You gotta be hauling ass back to your net right now. You gotta be rushing this. And I think you said this was a casual game, so like maybe that was the mentality there. But yeah, and so you are so quick there on turning back into that play and making something of it. But yeah, it breaks my heart when we're super fast. For a friend of mine, I play a lot. It's casual. Yeah, that's what I thought. So. All right, so that was a good challenge. Unfortunately, a little miss there from your teammate, and then a good attempt and the ghost hit on the touch. So hard to blame you there, but a little more unfortunate. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Good job. Great positioning, looking super steady. Oh, KingKnight, no! It's funny, literally, like almost like again, like you're listening to me in a replay, but right here, you did a perfect fake challenge. Like you baited him into a flick, you baited him into giving you the ball. This is exactly what I was talking about of the way that I want you to. This is where I really want you to be patient and catch these balls. That's exactly what you do. You come in, you want to catch this and bring it to the corner, and unfortunately just the mistouch. But that, yeah, it's pretty funny. I appreciate that that's in here, but I'm really happy that you try to slow it down, because that is what's important with these and something you got to be focusing on. This one I didn't take it seriously, but I thought I was playing a lot faster, so it was coaching where they're beautiful. Good, I'm excited to see that. I will say your field, like just pressure in general, like you look very speedy here. A lot of good flips. See how you're not using boost here. You're taking pads. You're keeping yourself close to 100 at 100 without wasting anything to get in there. So really, really good. Good prediction there. Well done. Great 50. Another great 50. Is he there? Oh, hurts. careful on those fake challenges. These ones are always kind of iffy. A lot of times with a fake challenge, you got to be. It's a lot of risk management. So the first fake challenge you did, where you own gold, was perfect because he either shoots and you're already ready for it because you're already going backwards, or he doesn't and you're still in front of him. So there's literally no risk to that fake challenge unless you go too deep. Tends to be the only thing. Here, there's a lot of risk because you're attacking from the side. So that means there's a very, very good chance that when you attack this ball and then your Aluquiat challenges this ball, it's going to be popping out this way. And that could most likely, since he's already facing forward and you're facing sideways, means it's going to be popping this way. So that could be very, very dangerous. Also, your teammate is nowhere relevant. Won't be ready at all for this play. So these challenges are dangerous, and fake challenges might be even worse when you come in this way, because all it takes is for them to know that you're going to fake challenge, and our buddy Alu, who I'll call him here, can just come in and boom this ball towards your net. Like, so these ones can be risky, and you are a little tight here, and you can see it again if we go back slightly and you can see what I'm talking about. But just something to keep in mind. So you're technically on the chase here, right? So like you want to be either cutting now to win that ball instantly before he gets there, and luckily you do actually kind of spin him out by making him rush that touch again, which is great. And so now you can kind of abuse that later in the game. But it's something you got to keep an eye on. That could have been a shooting opportunity, but you really do a good job of handling that. A little whiff, not a huge deal. Great win for your teammate there. Good attempt on the catch, and yeah, your teammate's dead. So this is just a little more information management of like either with comms or seeing in the thing, you know that your teammates just died, so by popping it hard you end up just kind of handing it away. So you want to try and keep these tight when this happens. So you're rushing down the side. Whenever I hear an explosion, like now, I always look to the top right corner to see what comes up and see who it is, who died, wherever. And so I see, oh, like my teammate died, so I'm going to take this slow now. So I would almost recommend taking this up the wall, but now it's pretty easy for them just to take it themselves, work their way back out, because you don't have the pressure anymore. So another thing just to keep in mind. Nothing huge at all. Good job not cutting there. I could see you wanting to turn, but that was really well done. Not bad. Good job. Reading he's not going to take the shot. That was huge. And a great win. Teammate. No teammate to be. Oh, there he is. And you see it's not a great mesh with his teammate / he's like lower ranked, either one. Nice beat. And again, we're rushing these flips, right? So you beat one, you take him out of the play. He can't do anything anymore. And no one is in challenging range of you, right? Like absolutely nobody is. So I want to see you dribble this to the corner or to the net, whatever that may be. I want to see you slow it down, not jump, keep it tight, because when you jump and hit this, it's a very easy challenge for them to come back in, and you now need to rush into a back pass, which actually turns into a shot on net. So something to keep in mind, like big for you, is like don't rush these jumps. Take your time, don't panic, let her be, and go from there. You're creeping a little tight there, but I think I understand why. As you saw, you looked awkward, so you want to help out. Not the end of the world. This is something that I could see you actually adding into your playstyle, because you play rather aggressive. Like you're in their end often, like right now. So you take their back boost, and so you're staying in their end. Take a body right now. So as you're chasing this down, you already know that most likely Alu is going to turn around and try and go to this ball. Hyena Ninja is going to be chasing to the corner. So what's stopping you from chasing him down? Because you're already rotating this way, right? You're already rotating back around the ball or in on the ball. You could do either or. So why not try to take out a body as you're going along the way, right? Which is a huge way to create pressure, because Leon just threw that ball in. So now by you chasing in here right now, boom, turn into Hyena Ninja. Now you have possession and you have the play. You can do what you want with that ball. Good try from Leon. Good win. Super, super clean win. The huge double commit is where you got to capitalize on it. Oh, lucky. This is a great spot where you want to be using your right stick. So right now, flipping your right stick to the left to see if Leon is coming with you. So if we look right now, we can take a look at him and see if he is. He is. So he's actually ahead. So you want to be booming this ball in the middle as quick as you can for him right now, and you want to be looking for that, because you see he breaks, he waits, and then I think kind of lucky that ball ends up going in, and that could have been done much more efficiently. So this is one of the same thing when I talked about at the beginning, where you're using that straight cam to look for and gain information. Same when you're using your right stick, because find moments where you can slowly start introducing this to your game, because then it'll become muscle memory and is a great way to dominate teams. Big dangerous pop. Good aerial. Oh my god. Oh, KingKnight. Funny. See what I mean? Like, I'm yet to see this kickoff, at least that strat, be successful. So I would recommend not using it. But if you think it's worked, if you've seen success with it, then who am I to tell you otherwise? That booms out. Looking for bodies, perfect. Like, perfect. That is exactly what we want. You get burned, sure, but at your rank, people should not be missing that aerial. Therefore, I think you should be looking for bodies there. I don't. That is not a bad move. It may feel like you're out of the play, or you left them hanging, or you weren't there. I don't think that that's a bad move, and you will only slow yourself down if you constantly worry, will my teammate hit the ball? And especially at the rank you're at right now, you can't be worrying about that all the time. You've got to have a little bit of faith, even when solo queuing, that your teammates can handle themselves. So I'm not mad at that challenge at all. I think that was a good one, because Leon is looking a little lost right now. Slow dribble. See the rushed flick, what I'm talking about? Great challenge again. Get your boost and get back in there. Beautiful. Full speed. That's what we want to see. Instantly on that. Boom in that top right. That's what we like to see, KingKnight. Well done, man. Super, super smooth. Great shot, too. Best shot I think I've seen so far from you. A cannon on net. And very lucky to not get scored on, which is nice. KingKnight, careful, buddy. So I know you want to support your teammate. I know, and I'm sure at this point you're probably not trusting him. You're feeling yourself right now. If we check the score, you have literally done everything. You're 3 for 3 on shots. Like you're a little, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to be a little extra here. Slow her down. Like I said, you just gotta have faith sometimes, and if that means rotating back post and just waiting and letting him get beat, that's what it's got to be, right? So right here, you miss your challenge. He misses his touch. All I'd be saying right now is you want to be stopping. I wouldn't even say flipping here. You want to be stopping, collecting some pads, and just kind of waiting to see what happens, and getting ready to break out with him. If he has it, he doesn't. So you want to be back in net, but you actually bump him and send it back the other way, and then rush the jump. So be very, very careful on those ones, man. Those will burn you 10 times out of 10. And again, luckily, not getting burned by it, but careful. Actually, you guys are gonna get a goal from it, which is hilarious. But oh, I see that musty. I see that. Good kickoff. Yeah, unfortunately a little slow again. So it's interesting. So I can only assume right now you go straight cam because you want to dribble. Makes sense. That is normal. People do that. I dribble in straight cam. If you dribble in ball cam, I'll have other words with you. If you watch pros or you watch high level players, they don't turn it on until basically this, like half a second before the ball touches their car. The reason they do that is right now you have no idea what's going on the right of your screen right now. You don't know if you're going to be challenged. You don't know if someone's rushing you. You don't know what's going on. And so we can see what information we can gather from a straight cam here before you go. So that ball pops up, you get your full boost, there's a miss, and then Aliwat turns out, but we don't know that the player who went up didn't recover perfectly and is going to be a little slower to the ball, but still on the ball, because look how long it takes you to actually make time. You break here, and you wait, and then he does come in challenge, and actually does beat you to the ball, but you could have been much more prepared for that if you were in ball cam a little longer. It's so much, and I think this has been our theme, and maybe that'll be my theme for you for like the month, is to focus on information gathering, truthfully, with your play, that and not panicking. And they don't go again, holy shit. But that is a huge part for you right now, is like you're playing fast, but it's a panicky fast sometimes. You got to kind of rein that in. But specifically with this catch is, it's all about information gathering. So even if you go straight cam, just hold right stick right now to the right so you can look and see what's coming. And so you know, because truthfully at this point, you are already up a goal, so you just want to get this out. So I don't think there's any harm in you rushing to this ball right now, hitting it on the ground so it goes over towards the wall, and then you following into the side to then pick it up, maybe come in on net, go up the wall, come down the center, do whatever you want to do with it, just so you can get it away from what is currently a very dangerous area in front of your net, and you don't have any information on whether or not it is even more dangerous, right? And you wait and you wait and you wait, and now you see him, but he's already jumped by the time you see him. I paused like the second he came on screen, and you're not gonna have time to flick that yet, right? You're not gonna have time to do anything because you didn't know he was coming because of that. And so it's funny. I personally have never. I always was the opposite. I never used straight cam. I was always worried to, but I'm seeing this with more and more players now, especially in the diamond area where they use straight cam so much and so early that it actually ends up burning them more than anything. So just something to keep in mind, especially as you get higher and faster in the ranks, there's less time. So you need to take any avenue you can get to gather information and do the play you need to. I like a slow kickoff, casual. recovery. Let's see a ceiling shot. Let's see a triple flip reset. Oh, off ball. That sucks. The rush. Otherwise, though, great replays, man. I hope you get to take a couple things from here, and you kind of know what I'm talking about. You're picking up what I'm putting down. You know what I mean? And we can go from there. As a part of the Combati tier, you have the entire month. Ask me any questions. Like I put that in our Discord. You can let me know if you have anything on your mind. You want to work on anything. You need packs. You need free play routines. Whatever you need, let me know. But this obviously is what concludes the replay analysis for the month. And then yeah. So just as closing notes for you, KingKnight. I'm seeing, like I said, a bit of a panic for a lot of jumps. So really try to calm yourself down. Even if you just spend one day while you're grinding, and just don't jump. Just take your time, play low 50s. Don't do anything too hectic. Really slow it down and take your time with things, so that you can kind of balance out what your speed versus your actual intentionality is going to look like. And then the other area of that, the other end is with that intentionality of taking things slower, is try to gather as much information as possible. You are a fast player, so you're going to continue to rise in the ranks because speed will get you there, right? Speed is enough to get you into diamond generally, but like smarts or heavy mechanics, either or, is enough to get you into champ. You need both to get you into GC. So that's kind of the way you got to keep it in mind right now, is like you're there with the speed. Mechanics, I like, you just look good. Like overall, like I didn't see anything that was super awful. Truthfully, I think some of the misses were more from panics than anything, so something to keep in mind. And then the big thing when it comes for speed is always having information. So if you watch, I can kind of show you really quickly. If I pull, like, I don't know, I don't even know what my replays would be. Like, what's this one? Looking for any replays that are actually me. This is not me. Yeah. I'll pull one. I think I played with our cursor today. Yeah. So I'll pull like one with cursor and I'll show you. So this is me playing that I can show you here. Once it lets me go to the player cam, like I was saying. There we go. So you'll see when I touch this ball, I'm instantly back. So I was in straight cam here. We can watch. So I go up to this and I get the clear, and I go into straight cam so I can get the boost. So I'm using straight cam to gather the information where the boost is, keep the ball close to me and get it on my hood. So I get on my hood, instantly back into ball cam so I can gather. So now I can tell you in my head right now, I see there's a blue in the corner, there's a blue directly in front of me who's gonna be challenging, and I have cursor in the middle for a pass. So I know what options I have instantly. So when I come down, I end up trying to lead cursor. It's a trash pass, but I tried to lead cursor thinking maybe I'm gonna catch this guy, because if you watch, this is a bit of a shot pass. So if you watch closely, I see that this guy is full boosting past me right now. So I'm like, perfect. I'm just going to put this on net and maybe cursor will get there and get it. Worst case, this guy's just going to clear it off to the corner and cursor is already there, who's going to be able to be there. And best case, he's not even going to get there. I'm just going to score. And if we watch, I literally score with something as simple as that, right? And this was not planned. This was just something I like literally clicked at this part of the replay, and that's what I mean about that straight cam to ball cam, is like that was a play that most players will put in straight cam, including myself, but only recently have I really been trying to see me back and forth between the two, so I can know what I want to do whenever I want to, right? So same thing. See my patience here. So this ball goes up, and right away I can see I'm angled a little bit to the left, so I'm not going to be able to get a good shot. And I see that Chase Poncho is well ahead of the jump on me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull out. If he misses, I'll stay close though. So he misses. So I drift, and when I'm doing the drift here and instantly start boosting the other way, is I'm trying to make Snoil think that he needs to rush this ball and beat me because he has an open net if he does, and instantly what happens, he also rushes his touch, right? And just like that, I've set up even though I get demoed, a very easy cutoff for myself just by going back and forth and being patient, not rushing, not jumping, not doing anything. It's a great way to slow down the play. We skip a little further ahead. You see what else we got. Very passive right now. Let's see what I got. It's the same thing. So it's always the quick check, get my boost, back in the play. I spend a lot of time in ball cam, and like sometimes that is a detriment for players, but a huge part of that for me is trying to always basically be ready for whatever information I need. swim in here. Like a lot of times I would tell people when they're going for demos or bumps, go to straight cam so you can see what you're doing. But because I've stayed in ball cam here while I'm looking at the ball, I can already see this guy on my screen. So it's a very easy bump for me to be able to make the play. Cursor unfortunately not that tight, but I'm still able to make whatever play I need to here. And same thing, like if you watch, I think this is something I do very subconsciously now, but I'm trying to get better so I can tell people about it, is I basically pick my camera and use my right stick to always keep the ball and all three players in view for the majority of the time. As much time as I can keep all three other players in twos, at least in my view, I'm happy. That I know what I'm doing right now. If I can't see Chase Poncho, in this case, I'm going to be creeping in quite a bit because I know that I have a much easier time to score without a goalie there. But I can see him, so I'm going to pull out. And then same thing, I'm staying in ball cam. I see where cursor is right now, so I'm not challenging because I know I need to waste time. So I'm waiting for him to then backflip and then hoping that he's going to be flying into this, which exactly he does. Doesn't end up getting the touch, which is fine, but he at least rushes so that I can make a play after that. See what I mean? So that is kind of the main thing I wanted to get across with that, is that kind of information gathering. It's a very high level mentality, but if you start working on it now, you are going to decimate players because they're going to think you are everywhere at the same time because you always know what's going on. You will really break down teams. I've been paying to try and play faster. Is that the info gathering? You got it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, you can't see the right stick moves all that well with director cam. It doesn't show a lot of them, but a lot of times on the rushes. So it's on the rush. If I'm going towards the corner, is when I'll do. I have my. I can show you. I have my. Where is it? Is it interface maybe? Oh, camera. Oh, it only shows spectator. Damn it. Okay, so my swivel speed is basically 0. So like if I click, like if I even tap to the left, it instantly is 90 degrees to my left. That is very personal. Like it doesn't need to be that, but that is how I find the best for me to be able to basically always be looking at all times, because I rarely need to look slightly. Like I'm only looking to my left, right, or forward. Like it's never anywhere else, because if I look to my left, I can see quite a bit of what I could see my peripherals already when I'm looking forward, and if I'm looking forward, I can already see the peripheral left. So I don't think I ever need to look in that direction. So I have my swivel speed basically as high as I can get, so I can just instantly whip to the left or right. Same with my that would be, I can't remember what it is, like swivel sensitivity, and then your swivel speed is when you're pressing Y, I believe is what that is, like your camera switch speed, and also incredibly fast. Like mine is instant. It flips between the two because I just find that valuable. It's different from player to player, so take that as you will. But that is something I think for you could do really, really well, because you're already playing fast. This will allow you to play faster because you know where everything is and where people are. So just a note. But that'll do it for you, at least for this set. And yeah, I hope you got a little bit from it. And again, let me know if you have any questions. But yeah, that'll do it for your replay. So thanks very much for sharing. And thanks for letting me do it on stream. Appreciate it.